Welcome back everyone to round number 18 of the Formula 1 2012 World Drivers' Championship. It's Psycho Enigma. We're in a Mercedes and we're at Abu Dhabi. First and foremost, apologies for the Indian Grand Prix last week. It was my second time recording it. I was ragey at the quality, redid the race, ragey at how crap we were, and then I raged into a wall and it felt good. Thank you. Anyway, we're on to Abu Dhabi. A 100% Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We're more competitive. We're 7th on the grid, but if you watch the qualifying session, literally about a 10th would have got us up to 5th. Setup wise, I'm using a recommended setup. For once, I haven't been a dick and done the setup. You know, I haven't gone to the engineers, do this, it'll be amazing. I'm using a setup that's been advised to use. Low aero. Last time I tried this was Suzuka and that went horribly. Hopefully it will go better. The car does feel quite good. I did do a lot of laps in practice just to get used to the setup. Braking as usual. Balance cranked all the way up to 11. It does mean the car turns in nicer, but we haven't got a slidey rear end. We're using very low ride height, which is strange for me, but for some reason the car feels better on the bumps. And we're also using high front spring stiffness to, well, apparently this setup I was told rids understeer, but the spring setup would cause it. Gear ratios is my creation. Engine alignment as standard. Let's go. Main aim of the game, beat Grosjean. As long as I beat Grosjean, I'm happy. Podium would be fantastic if I can get a win. Because we're about 7th on the grid, and you know, you guys have seen what I can do on a first lap when I set my mind to it. So I would like to think by the hairpin 3rd, breaking into the chicane. Who knows? I really like the Abu Dhabi track. I know a lot of people aren't huge fans of it, but I really enjoy racing here. So we've got two Lotuses to our left. We've got Raikkonen in front. We out-qualified Grosjean, which was helpful. Let's go. Massa's had a bad start. Raikkonen's not had a fantastic one. Get on the gas nice and early. We're positioned behind Jensen Button. Let's force him out. And we've forced Alonso out. That's better. We're up to 2nd earlier than I wanted. And I think in what I didn't explain my tyre strategy or change it with the setup. I've kept the tyre strategy as completely standard. That was the plan for me anyway. But I wanted to change fuel to normal, and I think I've left it. Yeah, I've left it on cautious. Which I didn't want to do because it means burning off more fuel in this early period. We're in the slipstream of Lewis Hamilton, and this is going to be from a long way back. No, I'm not that silly. If I was a bit closer, I would have gone for that. Need to go all Hail Mary on the first lap. And I can't see Grosjean's marker anywhere. I don't know if he's dropped off or anything, but taking out a bollard. Hamilton is slow. Stick the Mercedes up the inside of the McLaren, and we've gained the lead. We have gained the lead, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, Lewis Hamilton has just decided he's signing for Mercedes next year. I was going to say McLaren. That was a fail. Yeah, Grosjean's dropped back horribly, so that's really fantastic news. I know it's a long race. I know a lot can happen, but if we can roll on with that, then excellent. Anyway, so we have come from 7th to 1st at the end of the first lap, and I didn't think when I said it was possible. I thought I was kidding myself. Turns out I was wrong. Grosjean down in 10th. Enigma leads. Hamilton 2nd. Alonso 3rd. Button 4th. There's a medley of cars coming out the first corner, and it's meant that Button... Well, I think Button's still leading that train. I've got no idea. But we have got to finish 4th. So apparently today we have got to finish best of the worst. Because they are, of course, the 4th is the top position that doesn't get on the podium. But I don't think that's the case. I think a podium today is possible. I want to say a win is possible. I think I'd be kidding myself if I said that. And if I go quiet, sorry, it's me looking to my laptop just to make sure that the recording is going okay. And we slid wide because I wasn't paying attention. That's late, that's late, that's late. Oh no, we got it slowed down. Thank goodness. I thought we were going to be slewing off the road for sure there. Bollards! I dislike bollards. And Alonso has got past Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton must be really not performing today because Alonso is through. And Alonso has been the guy I thought that was going to win this race. You know, with Ferrari World being nearby. And Alonso was the quickest guy pretty much in all the quali sessions. Now, either way, we botched the final corner as we roll. Is up into second place. Lewis Hamilton down to third. Mark Webber is up into fourth, and Grosjean is still 10th.
Alonso's the fastest.
Alonso 2/10 quicker than us, and the car doesn't feel fantastic going around that corner with the high fuel. Alonso could be pushing himself now, and he could be wearing himself out of fuel for later, which is kind of what we're doing, only we're not going that fast. My recording looks really buffery and laggy, I don't like it. Then again, it's not massively behind. Wait, there's going to be DRS. DRS this lap. Alonso's got his DRS flap open. I don't think he's crazy enough to try a suicide banzai move. Actually, no, this is Fernando. Fernando will do anything for a win because, well, he's Fernando. And Hamilton looks to try and rejoin the party. Double DRS, of course, on Abu Dhabi. I'm not confident on the brakes. I'm not... Well, I am confident when there's another car there for me to try and overtake. When it's me leading, I haven't got a car, like an AI reference point, if that makes sense. And it's come to the point where I've come to realise that, wow, we've botched that horribly. I was checking tyres, thinking that tyres are going to be an issue. Because we absolutely rinsed the set in Q3. We did about 3 laps, which I did not want to do. It's really annoying because I look down to see how much KERS I've got, and my microphone has a red light on it, so I think I've got KERS when it's my microphone saying, I'm plugged in, you can use me. Right, so I think this is the point of the Grand Prix now where we knuckle down and we don't screw it up. And Sergio Perez, wherever he is, has just set the fastest lap of the race. So this is the first stint where everything just needs to be kind of brought under control. Make sure speed is maintained. The only other 100% race I've done other than this one was the Belgium Grand Prix. On camera at least. I've done a few others off of YouTube. But the first stint went well, and then the rest of the race didn't go according to plan. I mean, we got third that day, which isn't the worst result anyone's ever got. And there is a back marker, or an AI car, poodling around there. If only that could be Grosjean. Unfortunately, it isn't. I'm trying to be careful with those curbs. I'm not confident in that section. I'm thinking if I put so much of half an inch of my tyre wrong, I'm going to get spat off somewhere. And it's happened before. I've done an online Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with a few of my friends, and one of them put it just slightly wrong, and it cost him the race on the last lap. But knuckling down, going to put in some laps. Not ridiculously fast because it's race trim. You don't know what the car's going to feel like. I know Alonso is going to be all over us though. Done the fastest first sector of the Grand Prix. And of course Webber does the fastest lap in 4th position. So he's homing in on Hamilton. And Alonso's all over our gearbox. I knew we were going to have to deal with the Ferrari at some point today, but I thought it was going to be more Felipe Massa. Schumacher, I believe, is in 9th, defending Grosjean. It'd be really nice if something were to happen to him. Here comes Alonso, and this is what I mean. The shorter 7th gear ratio means we're not in the worst position to defend from DRS at the end of the straight, because we accelerate quite well. Albeit Alonso here is going to be a bit more tricky to defend against. It's a shorter straight. The Spaniard, with his DRS, I'm going to make him go the long way round. You got to go the long way, Fernando. Oh, we've taken the curve, and there was a bump there that I did not see. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You put a slight foot wrong, and it spits you out. Some of these curb edges are evil. That's put me back into 2nd place. Well, it had put me back into 3rd, but managed to re-overtake Lewis Hamilton. And Alonso is just driving away now.
We believe the car ahead is running standard revs. Standard revs.
Well, so much for my try and get a few laps in and retain the lead sort of plan. Oh god, understeer. Bad understeer. Now Hamilton's going to be getting the charge of the DRS, but he's been left in my wake, and someone is dropping back horribly because Grosjean and Schumacher have been released. That's a corner cut. Maybe not. It's just me taking out a bollard. We're on lap 6 of the 55 lap. Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Enigma relinquished the lead to Alonso just last lap.
You're faster in sector 2 than the car ahead.
There's the corner cut, which I didn't want to do. This curb right here, that's the evil curb. What's fuel looking like? +3 laps. Because we're on cautious. Well, I figured we might as well burn it early on. Alonso is ridiculously fast in this final sector. Look at him just pull out a gap.
We've had a look and we think Alonso's due to pit within the next couple of laps.
The annoying thing is we pulled out a slight gap to Hamilton, but Alonso just blew us completely out of the water. And we haven't taken the corners anywhere near what I'd have liked to have done, and tyres are not looking good. Tyres are looking poor.
The gap to the car behind is less than a second. Be aware he may use DRS.
I'm fully aware of that. Tyre wear is bad. This is a Mercedes, of course. We're fully aware. It's well documented they're hard on their tyres. I think I might just protect the car for the rest of this stint with fuel, and we'll go hard at it after we've changed. This does mean Alonso will build a bit more of a lead, but you never know what the plan is. Alonso could always drop off later. I doubt that's going to happen. We've got it badly wrong there. I think the reason we didn't get a corner cut is we actually tried to retake the corner, because I've done that before, and you don't get a corner cut for it, even though you did shade off a bit of it, and the back end is starting to feel very bad. You saw me starting to counter steer there. can't get ragged. I can't get overly aggressive. Otherwise that happens. The back end slides. I think I was going to try... Oh god, no, I should have gone in. I should have gone in. I've just realised what the tyres are doing. We've lost so much time to Alonso on that lap. The tyres have fallen away from us much quicker than I thought. Maybe lap 10, not lap 7.
Be aware, we think the car behind is trying to save fuel.
Alonso 4.5 seconds ahead now. Need to be careful on the gas for the rest of this lap. We need to get back to pit lane and bolt on a set of brand new option tyres. Sure, I don't know where we'll come out in comparison to everyone else, but that's the only thing that we can do right now, because we're going to lose time hand over fist until that point. Like an undercut, only a lot of laps early. And Webber has passed Hamilton. I don't know where that happened. So yeah, we'll call for options. 4.6. Alonso only gains a 10th on us in the middle sector. Ooh. Easy does it. There you go, you see the curves, you put a wheel on it and it just sets you off. It's not nice. I'd love to try and stretch the tyres, but I don't want to like spit it off into a barrier and cost myself like a front wing this early in the race and be forced to pit anyway. There you go, you see, look, there's my reasoning. The tyres are not hanging on through some of the corners. We've got to come in. And hopefully we'll get put out in a bit of clear air, I can hope. Come on guys, what's the time? What's the time on the pit? 2.9 seconds, that is fantastic. Okay, and now of course pit assist is not on. I don't have pit assist on, which means I cannot screw this up, because I've been known to in some online races. And we are going to come out ahead of Bruno Senna.
We estimate that Kobayashi should be coming in for...
There we go, so we're ahead of Bruno Senna. Now we just need to get these boys up to temperature. We came out in the 11th because we've had to go 4 laps early on the pit. That is a lot of laps. That is a hell of a lot of laps early. I do hope this is going to record okay, because some of them, like recently, my recordings haven't gone brilliantly the first time. So we'll do the first lap on standard fuel and then we'll go back to putting it into rich. I think that's Alonso up ahead there. I think the whole 12 laps on the options would have been if we only did like 1 qualifying lap. Because we did about 3 or 4, so that took a bit more life out of the tyres. And then of course with the higher fuel on, it's going to be worsened. I don't know, let's see how everything pans out sort of in the next few laps after the top guys pit. I'm not confident, I don't want to hit one of those bumps and become like an error Mercedes.
Our data's showing that the car ahead's likely to be running in fuel conservation mode.
Everyone early on looks to be saving the fuel early on in the Grand Prix, which is a smart idea, but I like going against the vein. I like being the strange one to rinse all of my fuel early on. And we'll save a little bit on our prime stint later, which might sound silly because I know we're slow on primes anyway. That did not go according to plan, that chicane. But we are closing up on the back of Kamui. And there's a scrap going on ahead with Grosjean, Schumacher and someone else. I'm not quite sure who it is.
We're gaining on the car ahead.
I know Schumacher's fallen back to 9th though, which is where he qualified.
Kobayashi's next.
I can't afford to lose time behind Kobayashi. I'm going to have to attempt an overtake here. I know it could have ruined my race, and it's Vettel up in amongst this fight.
Michael's just ahead of you.
I bet you guys are happy to finally see some action in my videos, some overtaking occurring, because normally it's just me defending for my life, like 9th place to get 2 championship points or something. There we go, that's a bit improved on the time. Of course, they'll be saying to their drivers who now know that I have done the fastest lap of the race, they will be made aware that I have pitted, I'm on fresh tyres.
You're within 1 second of the car ahead.
I'm going to use Michael Schumacher here, my teammate, for a bit of slipstream and a bit of DRS. Shuey hasn't got it. And Shuey almost offering me the line. Well, thank you very much, Michael. I will take that. We're coming in far too hot. We've just about got it slowed down. We're now up behind Vettel. Sebastian Vettel. And we got a second helping of DRS. We were so late on the brakes there. That was not good. And there we go, scything past Vettel. We're up behind championship rival Grosjean. By championship rival, I mean rival for 6th place in the championship. Diving down the inside. Grosjean going out wide. Might as well relinquish the place. We're not fighting for position. You're in an entirely different Grand Prix, Grosjean. I love the way that they said at like lap 7 Alonso would be coming in a couple of laps. Well, he clearly isn't. Now I've got a bit of clear air again. I'm going to look to put in another quick lap just to close the gap, because Alonso had got ahead of me by about 5 seconds before I peeled in to get my tyres changed. That is De La Rosa ahead. I wonder if we'll get DRS off him. Pedro. Decelerating really on the exit of the chicane. That's not going to help my calls. But we did get DRS. Someone's retired, I'm not sure who. And what I want to say is I am recording this Grand Prix on the Saturday morning of the Canadian Grand Prix qualifying. So that gives me something to talk about. I saw the first practice session. Well, I didn't see it. I saw the result, and Paul DiResta. Paul friggin' DiResta. Quickest in the Force India from... And second was Jenson Button in the McLaren.
Keep the car ahead under pressure. He might make a mistake. The gap is only 2 seconds.
So, and that was a wet dry session, which you can get a Canadian Grand Prix that is wet then dry. So, I don't know. Canada is usually an unpredictable one with weather, which means an unpredictable race. Best race I've ever witnessed of my life, 2011 Canadian Grand Prix. Jenson Button, 5 pit stops. I believe 2 were drive-through penalties. And he was in every position that race. And he won it on the final lap, overtaking Vettel, making Vettel crack under pressure. We've set another 1:48 lap time.
There are quite a few cars in the pits right now. Watch out for cars exiting the pits.
We're going to take Perez on the outside. I don't know who that is exiting the pits.
Michael call coming in now.
That is Fernando. We've caught Fernando on this stint. Looks like going in early may have just worked a treat.
We're only a second away from the car ahead. Let's see if we can use DRS to pass him.
We will indeed be using DRS to pass Fernando. Fernando looks like he's trying to defend the spot. It's not going to happen. We're going to come through, and Hamilton looks to have jumped Alonso. So is Hamilton now the race leader? Is everyone pitted? I don't know what's gone on at the front. I know we're fourth, and I know Alonso, Hamilton and Webber were sort of the ones in close proximity.
You're just ahead of Alonso. Push it. Don't let him catch you.
Of course, we did have to go in early for these option tyres, and we now need to get these to last until the stopping point. I'm really interested to know if Hamilton has pitted, because I don't think we'd have cruised up behind him this easily. And we are on standard fuel, that's good.
Okay, times are looking good.
Then again, it is lap 13, he could dive into the pits, and he has. And Alonso was looking very racy on the exit.
Looks like the car behind might be trying to go for a shorter stint. They've just fitted the...
So we have retaken the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which we did have.
We're 3 places above our expected.
Now it gets interesting. Now it gets dicey with Alonso. It's a matter of now who's got the strategy to defeat who. Because we had to pit early. This could mean we might have to make... Well, we will have to make another early stop. I am already 100% aware of that. But who's now got the legs on the other?
Watch out for the car chasing you. He's less than a second behind and will use DRS to overtake.
Yeah, he'll use DRS, but I've got it covered. And as the race goes on, we can look to brake later and later into this chicane, and that will be brilliant news for us later in the Grand Prix if it does happen. What do you know? It's a Mercedes leading a race after a pit stop. You didn't think you'd see that in 2013, did you? Apart from maybe at Monaco.
Be aware, we think the car behind is trying to save fuel.
This could be the point then, we're trying to build a lead would be an intelligent idea if he's trying to save fuel. He's clinging onto me like a rash. I'm glad that lap times have dropped into the 1:48s now. That's a better speed. And it appears we're both starting to drop Mark Webber. Right now we're 14 laps down. We're on the 15th. Alonso is 4 tenths behind us. He's pressured me into a mistake. And now he intends on using DRS to overtake, which is obviously, you know, a liable strategy. I mean, of course, DRS is legal. Can Alonso's DRS brake like it did in Bahrain, please? And again, he's a distance back, although he's closing. Come across to defend. There we go. We did our one move across, then we took the racing line. Nothing wrong with that move. Is tactically using half of our curves to defend on the straight and half to defend on, well, it's really just a long curve. Car almost skidded around that corner, and I get the feeling we're holding Fernando up. You know, you get that feeling where the guy behind you is just that much quicker and you're just really in his way. I've got that right now. thing is, he's not exactly hassling me. I'll take the opportunity just to save a few laps.
You have quite a bit of spare fuel. We can turn up the engine to mix mode 3 if you need it.
I'm not going to turn it to rich yet. I know I'm in the middle of a fight, so it might seem a bit silly saving fuel, and I must be holding Fernando up because Webber's closing in.
Between yourself and the car behind. Webber's really going for it. He's just put up a new fastest lap.
And there's Hamilton somewhere in the medley. Producing an even quicker lap, but we're only a tenth off the pace at the moment, which is really good pace for us. I think after these 2 straights, I'll stick the car into lean, and that's our, you know, there's our defending period. Oh, we've got that horribly wrong. That's going to give Alonso a good bit of drive. Oh, but he got tucked up behind our wheel and had to pull out. That could cost him. And hopefully it has cost him. Three tenths behind is Hamilton. Webber 2.4. Oh God, we've dropped it. We've lost it. Lost it on one of the curbs. I told you it would happen. I told you I wasn't confident around this section. I don't know what caused it. I was just so focused on the laps.
It looks like the car ahead is trying to create a gap. He's running.
That explains it. Webber's on full attack. Well, so am I now to get my place back.
The car ahead is running on the
Prime tyre? Webber's on primes? Are you sure? That cost me a lot of places. That cost me a lot of time. Glad Button was a bit further back. Oh God, we've become a Mercedes aeroplane. Hamilton's now the guy we got to worry about, who's now doing laps ridiculously fast. I don't know where Hamilton is on track. Probably not too far behind. There's Schumacher. Oh, Grosjean's a long way back. And we can't yet break after the 150 metre board because you're just losing time there. Got to worry about Button and his DRS now. That's a concern. Webber's 3.5 ahead, but Alonso looks like he's gonna hold Webber up. Could this be Mark Webber gonna take the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix from not from absolutely nowhere, but I didn't see him as a viable winner earlier on this weekend. And I'm making mistake after mistake now, trying to eke out some speed, and I think the tyres are starting to give way a little bit. I'm not going to put the tyres solely down to the mistakes. Obviously, it is me as well, but they don't feel that quick anymore. They're already losing grip. Oh, and there's Vettel, so yeah, everyone's starting to go faster.
Did the fastest lap of the race.
I don't like this stage of the race where I'm on tyres that are much older than everyone else's. I'm at least going to try to get to 20. But the time I'm going to lose doing that is going to be astronomical.
Webber's out in front.
Yeah, Webber's gained the lead. I don't even think that even with Alonso going the speed he is, and we're starting to take that corner very marginally, I'm going to have to start avoiding that curb. Even Alonso, the speed he's going, could not keep up with the Red Bull. That could have been Webber's one-ditch effort, though. You never know. What's he got left in that car now? I mean, you never know till you try. So we are just going to... Not saying we're going to pressure him, because I don't think we can.
Be aware, we think the car behind is...
God, he's sliding on the entrance on braking. That lap felt better than the last one.
We've had a look, and we think Alonso's due to pit within the next couple of laps.
It's getting cloudy as well, so I don't really want to swap to primes in cloudy conditions. And Vettel's going ridiculously fast somewhere back there. Yeah, I don't think we would have held Webber behind even if we had kept the lead and not made that mistake. I know we can be competitive enough when we put some new tyres on. Here comes Button. So new revised plan, other than winning the race, which wasn't my plan to begin with. Third seems like a really good finishing position. How to avoid that curb, brake late. Brake late, you never go near the apex. Mistakes are starting to creep in, I don't like it. Don't like it when I start making mistakes. Thing is, I'm not even pushing that hard. I think it's just me thinking, oh, maybe can I brake a metre or 10 metres later? The answer is no. Every single time is no. We took the final corner better at least, and that lap was faster. Alonso's gaining a few tenths on us per lap, so yeah, we did take the lead, only to throw it away. Then again, Alonso's not exactly held on to that lead. Webber's been the one accelerating away. Like I say, just any points that allow me to get back ahead of Grosjean in the championship will be very much welcomed. That's one issue. You can't take corners too tight. Yeah, and they're all on prime tyres. Button's on primes, that must mean Alonso is on prime. So they're doing these sort of speed on prime tyres. They've been playing with me this whole weekend then. I'm going to go for mine this lap. This is...
Prime tyres confirmed for next pit stop.
So I know that I will drop a lot of time on prime tyres. I will drop at least a second a lap. If they're going the speed they're going on prime, there's no way I can recover that. My rears are getting worn to hell. It's gone from us looking racy and challenging to defending like a little bitch. Buttons all over us. And it annoys me that you get a corner cutting penalty going into there, because when you get a bit marginal with the curbs, like I sometimes do, you know, what if when you're coming into pit you get a corner cutting thing? Come on guys, another good pit stop, 3.5, we dropped 6 tenths on what we did before. Vettel goes by.
Watch out for traffic as you rejoin the track.
But we should be ahead of Schumacher, who we did lose out to in the first round, or we came out behind him, should I say. We got marbles on our tyres.
You're on the prime tyres. Only one stop to go.
I can already feel the car slower because of primes. So they're now going to switch to options while I'm still on prime tyres, is what I am now feeling. Ugh, everything became blurry for a split second. Well then, this race has all gone topsy-turvy and I've got absolutely no idea when I'm expected to finish. Sorry for any squeakiness from my chair, I should have of course pointed that out earlier. Well, we're at least over a pit stop ahead of Grosjean, so he's not having the best race. That's at least one positive we can take from this. I'd love to know who the retirement is.
According to our estimates, Vettel should be stopping for
3 laps, okay. So is Vettel on the options? What is going on with that? Someone explain that to me. I was not going too quick for that corner. I felt like I was pedestrian speed. I just dislike prime tyres and how much better the AI is on prime tyres than you know, people-controlled players. I need to not let that get the better of me. And I need to look into starting to save fuel. Actually, no, we'll save fuel after the pit stops. Like after they've all pitted, because if we step it up a bit, I'd work out fuel strategies on the fly. So I don't want to run it as low as Belgium because I don't have like a rain period to try and save my fuel in. Again with that, what? Am I braking too late? Is that what it is? Because I don't feel like I am. I'm costing myself time on what could be me making up like positions while they all pit, because whatever tyres they're on are more worn out than mine, so I need to take advantage of the extra life. This is me like extreme undercutting because a Mercedes is really bad on its tyres. It was a 148.4, but it involved a huge bit of corner cutting. And a lot of me out braking myself and doing things like that. What has happened to my driving skill all of a sudden? Stepped it up to Rich to try and get some time.
Gap is currently about 6 seconds to the next car. Let's try to reduce it if we can.
I know we can reduce it. That's not my issue. My issue is that I all of a sudden suck at this game, and I can already hear the comments. Oh, you're too aggressive. Maybe if you were just a bit like kinder to the curves, maybe you would like succeed more. I don't know. But can someone tell me, like anyone that plays this game, tell me if they experience the same thing with the AI being invincible on like prime tyres? And I am experiencing a case of numb bum.
We advise mix 2, mix 2. We're comfortable at the moment.
I say that's not Vettel ahead, that is another guy.
Slower traffic ahead. Be careful when overtaking. They should let you through.
So we gain on Vettel in the middle sector. But then we lose out in the other two.
Our data's showing that the car ahead's likely to be running.
Oh, there we go. That's why we're gaining on him.
Slightly slower than normal.
like the way you picked a decent spot to get out of my way, Kovalainen, I really do. No, he didn't pit. Right, so we are gaining on Vettel, so we need to crack down now. Run ourselves a little bit out of fuel. Try and redeem it later is the plan.
There's only 4 seconds gap between you and the car ahead. Keep pushing.
At least Glock was generous enough to give me the space on the exit to overtake him. And I didn't get DRS off him, which I thought I would. That's kind of annoying. There's Narang Kartakayan. Oh, we got DRS off Narang, that's good. Is that Vettel ahead? I think it is. Sorry, I'm going into my full concentration mode here because it's 100% Grand Prix. It's not like I can take pauses to hydrate my throat, so I use that as my opportunity to concentrate. People are coming into the pits. I don't think I've used my opportunity of life in the tyres to really make an indent in the lead, which is suckish.
Hamilton has just driven into the pits.
There's someone accelerating out, and that's going to be a leader. I don't know who it is.
Nice driving. That was the fastest lap of the race.
That's Alonso. I hope and pray that that is Alonso.
The car ahead is running the option tyre. We may have trouble closing the gap during this stint.
Because if that's Massa, I am screwed. Need to start saving fuel. It would have been great if he had come out behind Vettel because that would have held him up wonderfully. Unfortunately, he hasn't. So I'm not close enough behind to see who it is. And no, Vettel is on option tyres.
Looking at the data, you're faster than the car ahead in sector 3.
So Vettel was on options, and that's when he was pumping in the ridiculous lap time. So that's okay. That's a gauge for performance, I guess. And the guy ahead of him is now just accelerating away, so it's not like I'm going to be able to tell who it is. Vettel in pit lane. Okay, so no, that's Massa ahead.
Car behind has got a new set of prime tyres fitted, going for a longer period between stops.
No, it is Alonso, sorry. Massa was in the pits as well, so no, that is Alonso ahead. I've lost a bit of time then. Well, if they've put primes on, which I'm assuming they have, because Button had primes on, they've got 2 stops left to make. I don't know. I'm getting confused by strategy.
This is exactly what we need. Push, push. Our data's showing that the car ahead's likely to be running
so
in
they're-
full conservation mode.
They're all saving fuel, so probably what I should be doing.
We think Webber is going to pit sometime within the next 5 laps.
So I'm in a Ferrari sandwich is what I'm in. It's nice and cozy in here, like I'm a big slab of meat in a Ferrari sandwich, and I'm 5,000ths of a second slower than I was on my best lap. I tried to control that slide, and I'd like to think that that was my version of controlled, but no, we've lost time to Alonso. Our charge has well and truly been halted. We lost 9/10 to him.
Pace is good, pace is good.
Whack it onto Rich.
Fuel is very marginal. We'll have to go very easy if we want to make enough of a saving.
So we're going to go Rich on the straights and then standard everywhere else. Oh god, the sun reflecting off the car there. That was, ow. Oh, that hurt my eyes. Hamilton's overtaken Massa.
You're coming up on a group of slow-moving cars.
Alonso's gained a second as compared to the lap before. Pick, please stay out my way. Don't you dare take the corner. I know what the AI are like, especially the Marussias, especially Timo Glock. We're running in fourth. Has anyone yet got to pit still? Because the only guys I think that are ahead of me are Button and Webber, and I really, really wish I could get that corner right. 2.8 seconds I lost on that lap.
We need to do better than a low 1 minute 48 to start catching the car ahead. Keep pushing.
I can do low 148s on these tyres. It's just...
Next car is 4
What
seconds.
tyres is he on? Tell me tyres, please. I wish you could request the information from your engineer. Hamilton's closing. I'm guessing they're all on options. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to start rethinking my fuel plan. I need to go as quick as possible, but at the same time save fuel. This is madness. These 100% races screw with your head, but this is half distance. I looked to see how long I'd been recording for, and right, I think Hamilton's pushing, and Alonso is saving fuel. That's what I think the current state of play is. There we go, I actually got it right, Jesus. So we gained on Alonso that lap.
We need to do better than a low 1 minute 48 to start catching the car ahead. Keep pushing.
I am pushing, I'm trying to save fuel at the same time like you want me to. One of those awkward situations where you got to go as fast as you possibly can but while saving fuel. I think that goes to prove what Hamilton's current fuel strategy is.
We have a gap of around 4 seconds between you and the next car.
I don't know how far to go on these tyres. I want to think I've got one stop remaining, but that means I've got to make these last a heck of a long way.
Okay, it looks like the car ahead is trying to create a gap.
Oh, Alonso's going for it again.
Maximum power.
So there we go, the closing on Alonso is now not going to happen. Yeah, we've still lost time in the middle where we were gaining time because of the straight. Okay, what I think I'm going to have to do is maximise my fuel saving. So just keep it in lean the entire lap. And make it a 4-stop race plan. I don't exactly know what I'm doing. Right, Button, that's Button coming in. I swear that has to be Jensen. Yeah, that's got to be Button. It is. It's Jensen. So he was on our tail when the pit stop started. And, well, we've pulled a bit of a gap to him.
We're running just ahead of where we expected to be. Keep pushing. You're 5 seconds behind Alonso.
We've managed to, in all of that, we got 3.7 on Button, which
the car ahead is running.
would have been nice. Oh, finally, you tell me what tyre he's on. He's on options. That makes a bundle of sense now. We're just over halfway. I think this is the point where we do like a sit rep. Like find out status of everything. I've just realised because I'm running lean, I'm not going to be doing the same sort of speed on that straight, so I could actually brake later. Sit rep, we're third. We're optimal on fuel. I think the quickest method for us to now do the rest of this race is actually a two more stops going option. Because as it stands at the moment, I'm sure that Alonso hasn't done his prime stint.
We can't afford to lose too much time stuck behind the car ahead. You're faster than him in Sector 2. Sector 2.
That's Webber in. We were told before on the radio that Webber is on prime tyres.
We have a problem with DRS.
Oh good, I thought he was going to say Kurz, and that is Webber there. So the top four in fact, because Button's getting in the fray now, are all running pretty close together, and Webber is indeed on options, so there we have their plan. They've all got a prime stint left. This is an interesting period. I think we'll swap to options in a few laps, probably about 35, maybe between 35 and 37, and see what happens in regards to lap times, because as it stands at the moment, we're looking nice, we're looking better than I thought.
Good pace. Keep pushing.
I mean, Button's closing in. I don't know what they're doing for fuel, like I've said. I know that I'm on a saving strategy at the moment, so I can give it harder at the end on fresh options. I'll go all Vettel on, and with 5 laps left, stick a fresh set of options on with some fuel left over and just show what a car can do. This is why I want them to bring refuelling back into Formula 1, you know. Because Vettel on that day had enough fuel to give it his absolute all, and also he had the life in his tyres to do it. So why the hell can't they just do the refuelling? I think it's because the incident Massa had in 2008 with the fuel rig in Singapore. I think it's a safety thing, but it would be really nice if they brought refuelling back, because I loved fueling strategies. Button has now closed in on us quite a bit. Oh no, and the thing is, fuel is very difficult to get back in the, like, it's very easy to burn, but it's hard to earn back. That's one thing you have to remember.
Fuel is good, fuel is good. We can move to mix.
We will not move to mix 2, we will keep saving. Because I think we are in a good position here. Sure, we're going to lose a bit of time to Webber now, but I get the feeling this will play out later in the race. My last stop scheduled for lap 42. I don't want to go too early on that. Webber's got his prime stint out of the way. That's one thing we've got to bear in mind here. So Webber's actually in the pound seats. I don't know about Alonso, and Button's got his prime stint out of the way as well. I'd say just keep your eyes peeled, folks, for an exciting end to the Grand Prix. I don't want to build it up too much, but I at least want it known that I think everything is subject to change than what it is at the moment. How are our tyres looking anyway? Oh, they're not even that bad. We could go a bit longer if we wanted to. I think... I'm trying to think how long I could get a set of options to last. I think I used my one brand new set. Button, you're not as confident on the brakes as I am.
You're approaching one of the Red Bulls. There's a Red Bull ahead of you.
I think maybe if we can get up to 2 laps on fuel, Button's going to go past here. There's no point in defending it. But again, he's going to go late on the brake or early on the brakes. Therefore, I'm going to pass him. I know Hamilton's cruising up to the back of us as well somewhere.
You're on the slower tyre, but you're maintaining the gap to the car ahead, so we're very happy. This is good.
I love that Abu Dhabi turns from an afternoon race to an evening race. It gets a bit dusk, lights come on, it is fantastic.
Ferrari are getting ready for a pit stop. Looks like it's going to be...
Oh really? So Alonso has the prime stint left.
We fixed the problem with DRS. It should be back online.
That's what Alonso's going to be going for. He's going to be going in for his prime tyre. Now, Webber and Button have got that out of the way, so this is a fight, not for the win between me and Alonso, but that's my main competition at the moment. And that is Hamilton. He's coming up behind us. Horrible case of numb bum. Right, here comes Button. Is he actually going to get the move executed this time? The answer is, of course, no. Button, if you were just a bit later on the brakes, you would have this position. You'd have had it a lap ago. I don't know what you're thinking, Jensen. I'm not even fighting you, that's the problem.
We have some spare fuel. You should consider turning up the engine for a few laps.
Nah, we'll leave it as it is. Save a bit extra. A bit more. We can really give it the beans at the end. So I realise now that we've all got one stop left to make. And I don't want to be the one dealing all my cards early on. Albeit they are starting to get ahead of me a little bit. And we've dropped it! Oh, we've dropped it horribly. Mistakes are creeping in. If I wasn't so aggressive with that first curb, because that is meaning that they are building and building and building a lead, and everything is just getting worse and worse. We lost 1.2 seconds due to that error. Right, we've got our 2 laps. I just want to keep it to the end, and we'll put it up to standard. See where the pace takes us, because I'm still toying with the idea of making a couple of pit stops, because we've seen before that doing this undercut, like our multiple lap undercut, is proving effective. Hamilton has come into play with Button. I'd love to know where Grosjean is on the road. Come on team, keep me updated with Grosjean. That would be nice. Grosjean is 10th. He's only getting a single championship point. We're starting to have issues with turn 1. It's really annoying because it's one of those where the positions, like my reference point, gets obscured by like where the positions are listed. And Webber's now got a 10-second advantage over us. I think it might be time to roll the dice.
Options confirmed for your next box.
I think this could be a gamble, but it could be a very interesting gamble. I'd say this could work out to be interesting. I don't intend on getting these options to the end. I intend on seeing what plays out, because even though I'm going to be doing an extra pit stop... Oh god, that went horribly. Oh no! We've lost a ton of time. It's the curbs. It's just vile and sadistic, and what we had gained on Webber in the middle sector has all been undone. Curb just spit you off out of nowhere, and Button's lost it!
We think the car behind is running.
Button dropped it, trying to overtake us. That's not the first time he's done that this season. I'm glad we did not get a penalty for that, because I would have not been impressed with it. I was taking the standard racing line. 3.8, we're getting slower with each pit stop, boys. Come on, what's that about?
There's some traffic at the pit exit. Watch out as you rejoin the track.
Right, now let's see what the car can do on a fresh set of rubber.
Vettel should be coming into the pits within the next 5 laps.
Got a fresh set of boots on. We're 6th. But I think Button's retired the car. I think Button has actually retired his car. Right, so this could be a gamble. I like my gambles in my 100% races. We're where we were before after a pit stop. We're chasing Sebastian Vettel. But the thing is, their tyres are going to be wearing out. Mine are going to be nice and They're not fresh, of course, they're used options. Oh, I feel like a complete muppet now.
Deployed. Safety car deployed.
I feel like a complete fool. This has all gone to pot because I pitted the lap before.
You cannot use DRS now that the safety car's out.
Of course, people are going to be diving into the pits left, right and centre.
Okay, no overtaking allowed.
Hamilton's dived in, of course.
Webber's in first place.
Webber's in first, so was that Alonso that dived in? I'm not too sure what's going on. This has all worked out horribly for me and brilliantly for the guys up ahead. This is what happens when you gamble. Everything goes to pot. But what it does mean is that our options might just last a few more laps. So we've got a back marker in here. We've got Alonso, Massa, Vettel. So our tyres then are not looking brilliant, but they should wear a bit slower because we haven't got the mass of fuel on that we did before. So this is now the period where everyone reevaluates, everyone understands. And I would actually be in third right now if this hadn't occurred. This is where I need to think strategy. Vettel's on prime, he's not going to pit again. Hamilton has pitted and he's on prime, he's not going to pit again. I seriously don't even know. Maybe some primes would have been the better tyre to be on. So I don't want to pit and be right at the back of the snake. Then again, everyone could peel in. I'm going to wait to see what everyone does. Are they going to all bolt in the pits? No, we're all going round. So this is fuel saving. So again, also with the fuel saving, this has screwed me with. But it means there will be a restart. A nice little restart going down. And we'll have to see how it goes, really. I would say this race has actually been quite exciting, intense. It's been unpredictable. There are points where I thought, well, I have screwed up massively. I should be leading right now if it wasn't for a few of my mistakes. That last one, though, when I was ahead of both McLaren, the curb was an evil little bastard. Just spat me off.
No overtaking the safety car.
Right, was that the safety car lights are flashing? Does that mean it's going to be in this lap? Massa's on primes. I don't think he's going to pit again either. This is now proving problematic for me. This is not what I expected to be going down at all. I could have screwed myself out of a good result. That realisation is sinking in quite horribly now. At least fuel's being saved. That's one positive I can take from this. Yeah, that looks like the safety car light is flashing, so he'll be coming in this lap. There are going to be some people going to bolt. Yeah, if it goes in this lap, there's no point in pitting. Absolutely no point. I suppose we might just have to... Oh, I doubt we can tough it out on this set of tyres. Yeah. Should have perhaps waited. I don't know, there's 15 laps and I think there are some people on this track that still need to pit. This has bunched everything up and just made it that little bit more interesting. Yeah, I thought so. I thought the safety car was going to be in. Put myself in rich just to...
Manage your brake and tyre temperatures.
No, we don't. Shut up. I know what I'm doing. Yes, 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 I know what I'm doing. When's Webber going to bolt? When's he going to go? 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 I don't know if the AI is programmed to go at a certain point. He's going to wait till we're around this corner and then he's going to shoot. He's going to go any second now.
You're faster in second.
The Marina peeled into the pits. We've dropped it on the exit of the last corner.
Okay, it looks like the car ahead is trying to create a gap. He's running full.
Isn't everyone going to be running full revs maximum? Look, loads of people dived into the pits. I knew I should have done it. Oh god, I hate myself. I get so wound up by me taking curbs and the back end when I think it's planted. It isn't. It winds me up so much. I actually suck at this game. Trying to predict a strategy and doing everything on the fly is not what I do. Here comes Lewis Hamilton. I should think on a restart. It's much like the early opening laps of a Grand Prix, so I should really have an advantage. I'm on used tyres. Everyone's on used tyres. It's the exact same like the first lap of a Grand Prix. We've gone wide. Putting too much, you know, too much pressure on cold brakes. Is everyone going to pit once more? I'm going to say yes. This is not over by a long shot yet. Keep your eyes peeled, ladies and gentlemen. Webber's done a 1:46.3. He's been an entire second quicker than me.
Put up a new fastest lap.
See, you take it slightly too tight. You get spat off. It's really frustrating. Oh, we got DRS though. We got DRS. That's allowed us to defend from Hamilton. Can we take advantage of what looks like Massa slowing Vettel down? I do hope we can. I certainly hope we can. From a long way back, we're going for it on Sebastian Vettel. Can we get Massa?
Good.
No, we can't. The back end will step out. I should have seen that one coming. That was a line I'm not too familiar with. But we've passed Vettel. Massa is next in our sight. We're usually good into this braking zone. We can't send a flying one up the inside. That would be really bad. I suppose our next best bet is into that chicane where our braking is pretty good. Oh, drama unfolding in Abu Dhabi. Massa dropping back. Webber and Alonso trying to accelerate away with the Grand Prix. And Enigma and his Mercedes is being left behind.
Have enabled DRS.
Alonso responds to Webber's fastest lap. Enigma is stuck in the medley behind Massa. What can he do when he's released? If he is ever released. He has to pass the Ferrari.
We think the car behind is running on full revs.
Isn't everyone running on full revs to try and counter everyone else? We got DRS, I know Massa didn't. Can't send a banzai up him in this chicane. What about the next corner? Not with that driving. Not with that driving at all. We'd be in a much better position. We still got DRS. Not quite close enough. If we'd got the acceleration like I wanted it, we would have been. Stick behind him. We can get him into this next corner. I know we can. Don't fall too far behind. Plan it. Set it up. We're there. We're there. Come on. Massa hanging on the outside, but he can't keep it. The move was fantastically executed. Everyone dives in. Everyone dives in for new tyres. I should have figured they would. 146.0 from Alonso and Webber.
Michael has entered the pit.
I don't have a fresh set of options for the Grand Prix. I've got fresh primes. They'll definitely get me to the end.
Okay, prime.
Every fibre of my being is telling me to pit and that I should have pitted during that safety car period to put primes on. I'd still be in third right now, only under a fresher set of tyres and not needing to pit. I knew everyone was going to pit again. I told you they would. I feel like an F1 commentator. Well, I am an F1 commentator. Not in that retrospect. Some new tyres would be very nice right now. Please give me fresh rubber. Give me rubber that I can rely on till the end of this Grand Prix. Webber peels in. I knew everyone had to pit. There's the slide. That's the slide. Come on. We can delay Webber in the pits, hopefully. They can't release him like that. Yes. We've delayed his pit stop. Come on, boys at Mercedes. Give me a good time. Give me good. Give me good. Give me good. 3.7.
Go now.
Hamilton with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Who knows if he has to pit again.
Hamilton's just posted the fastest lap of the race. Watch out for traffic as you...
Wait, Raikkonen's sixth. I haven't seen Raikkonen since the opening lap. We've passed Massa though in everything. We're still ahead. Carnage, chaos and calamities. Are they everyone that gained advantage on me because I didn't pit the lap before? It better not be, because I don't feel like siding past these guys. Here comes Massa. He's on their outside. Massa looked like he wanted to chop across. These guys must be, because there's no way they'd be that far behind after a safety car period.
We think the car behind is running on full revs. He's trying to close the gap.
Is that Vettel? I believe that is Vettel and Hulkenberg. And Raikkonen. No, it's Webber! It's Mark Webber! Webber is stuck behind Nico Hulkenberg. What are our tyres like? They're fresh, they're brand new. This is going to be a dramatic end to this motor race if anyone else has to pit. We've got Massa all over our gearbox. Grosjean's down in 12th, not getting a single point. There's Vettel with the fastest lap out of absolutely nowhere. A 1:45.1, that makes us almost 2 seconds off the race leading pace. That's definitely a corner cut. No, I didn't quite get DRS. I know Massa's got it though. Under the night sky in Abu Dhabi. Webber's got through on Hulkenberg. Raikkonen looks like he's lost a bit of his front wing due to what looks like him trying to get past. I'm going to try and have the pair of them. Gonna have to be late on the brakes on this one, at least to get Kimi.
Faster in sector 3. Use that advantage to pass the car ahead.
We need to pass Hulkenberg as well.
Looks like the car behind has a small amount of damage to his front wing. We don't think it's affecting his performance, so keep pushing.
Sending one up Hulkenberg's inside. This has been a spot where we've overtaken before in this race. And we've got through. Into 5th. Does Alonso have to pit? Are there going to be any more unforeseen circumstances?
The car ahead is running the option tyre. We may have trouble closing the gap during this stint.
Webber the new fastest lap, a 1:45.0.
Webber's really going for it.
We can't keep up the speed at this end of the Grand Prix. If I can at least finish my target position of 4th. If anyone's got a pit, I could be on for a podium. Oh, this is going to be an exciting last 10 laps. I can already feel it, and I hope you guys feel it with me. I do hope my recording hasn't screwed up and the quality's good, because honestly, if anything is wrong with it, I don't care. This race is going up. It's been a good Grand Prix. Been all over the place. I do love a good 100% race when everything goes according to plan. Nothing's gone according to plan in this one. It's still been a good race. Webber pulling away from us on his fresh option tyres. He's gone. Consider him out of our reach. Hulkenberg is still holding up the pack behind though. This is fantastic news for us. Hulkenberg clearly took advantage of the safety car situation. I think that's Alonso still in the lead, not pitting. No, because that must be second place. I think that's Vettel in second, actually. First corner errors again. First corner on Abu Dhabi does not like me. Every advantage I've built up over the train that Hulkenberg is defending against, I've lost. And I'm trying to claw every ounce of lap time out of this car. Sorry for the constant squeaking of my chair. I'm moving around because numb arse been sat in the same spot for pretty much an hour and a half now. run the car ragged. We got to get points. Hulkenberg is on the back of that. No, Hulkenberg's at the lead of that tail. Grosjean's at the back of it. No! Need to calm it down. Need to calm it down, but keep the speed up. Don't know who Webber's closing on, but I'm not going to catch him if my performance continues at this rate. There are curbs that you can hit. I feel like I've gone to the other end of the scale now and Hulkenberg is catching me. I lost 1.8 seconds that lap. I can't get the first corner right. This is preposterous. Hulkenberg is catching me on merit. I will not be known as the head of this train. I am quicker than this train of cars. And the laps are disappearing and we're not in rich on the straight. Yeah, Hulkenberg's getting DRS off me. I need to change that as soon as possible. Braking far too early for this chicane. Can't have Hulkenberg keep getting DRS off me. That means the whole train catches me. Grosjean is now amongst that train as well.
We might need to think about moving to fuel mix mode 2 in the next few laps.
We can indeed move to fuel mix mode 2 because I know that we need to keep fuel to finish this motor race, and Webber's up behind someone. I don't think anyone else needs to pit. I think this could be our finishing position, which will suck if it is. I mean, we're going faster. I mean, we're gaining speed. I wish I could just get the first corner constantly right. I mean, that was probably one of the best times I've taken it through the whole Grand Prix. Oh, bum hurts, numb arse cheeks. I hope you guys find this amusing. We can brake later still into this chicane, but I don't know how late I want to leave it. Just need to try and save as much fuel as physically possible. We became airborne again because of a bit of curb. Webber is still behind whoever's holding him up. We just need to concentrate now and just keep the car on the island. I just want to get it to the finish now. If any point positions get gained between now and then, that is a bonus in my eyes. Still starting to produce better lap times. At least we can say we did a 1:45 point. Lap 50. It's taken a lot of concentration this race, I won't deny you all that. If you're still with me at this point, if you've watched the entire Grand Prix, it's been good.
You currently have a 3-second gap between you and the car behind. 3 seconds.
wonder if I'm actually burning a lot of fuel by doing this rich on the straight thing. This is going to take a while to process, and as for the upload, God, I remember the upload of the Belgium Grand Prix, that took a while. .9 now to Hulkenberg. I don't see anyone pitting in these last few laps. I think everyone will just try and eke it out and get their tyres to last. No point in pitting this late. We are pumping out lap times though. That's only 0.2 slower than Vettel's fastest lap. Now that the car's light, it's actually performing quite nicely. Rich on the straights again, deploy the curves.
We have a little bit of spare fuel. We should keep.
I am watching it, don't worry. I'm watching it now at least. With 5 laps to go, I figure I need to. Can't believe for breaking into that chicane I'm using what my driving instructor tells me. Get all the braking and the gear changes done before the turn. You know, I can't be slewing into the corner like in the middle of a gear change. Webber has passed Kobayashi. That was really, really bad corner cutting. Don't know what tyres Kobayashi is on, but yeah. Well, we could have had a better finish, I think. I thought it was going to get more exciting, but in the end, it's been quite subdued. In the end, in the last sector, I managed to throw away 1.1 seconds. I don't see myself catching Kobayashi. I think I'm just going to get it to the end of the Grand Prix, to be honest. 4 laps remain, including the one I'm on. Once again, we looked like we had not an opportunity to win, but we led the race. Alonso fought us fantastically hard in the opening stages, and there was a period just before all the safety cars, just before half distance, where I thought we were still on with the potential for a win, but hasn't worked out that way, unfortunately. At least I'm taking points out of Grosjean in the championship, which is always a nice plus. We will roll on to America next weekend, or I'm going to try to record that soon because I'm doing Download Festival, which is a UK rock festival, next weekend. But I will aim to have the Grand Prix scheduled to be uploaded, so even though I will be in the middle of a muddy field, you can be cosy at home watching my Formula 1. I bet that's all good news for you. I will try and also get a vlog for that. That'll be nice. Can Kobayashi's car just like explode? Webber's not really pulling away from him. That was the thing. I realised that Webber wasn't really pulling away. I'm like, well, poop. I am not going to catch him. My lap times are starting to tumble away a little bit, but 5th, I believe, is 10 points. Taking that out of Grosjean sounds good to me. 53 laps in. We've made a few mistakes along the way. If we hadn't made some of them, not least the pit stop mistake, which I feel I was a fool with that one. That cost me a lot of time. Like we did it the lap before the safety car come out. So that sucked. We would have been up there now, ahead of Webber probably. A few like slides and whatnot, no massive spins. I mean, we did lose our lead fairly early on due to a mistake. Now the mistakes are slipping in, now that I start to talk about them. Overall, it's not been too bad of a Grand Prix. I would like a better result, granted. I think Alonso's going to come away from this with the victory. Kobayashi is doing quite well in fourth. That's actually, no, that's bad. That means Sauber against us in the Drivers' Championship are going to get nicely. And that pack's broken away. Schumacher's in 11th. He's not going to get a point. It'd be nice if he did, because that would mean I'm not the main contributor to our championship chase. I've got the option to renew with Mercedes next year, which I'm considering. The only other options I've got are like lead driver at Caterham HRT and somewhere else. Webber, fastest lap of the Grand Prix, whereas we are just tuning it down now. Hulkenberg's 6th. I don't think anyone's going to get past him and mount a challenge on us.
We need to keep pushing if we want to close the gap on the car ahead.
Oh, we're not going to catch him, engineer. Face it. Face facts. I'm the intelligent racing driver with a kind of hurt throat.
I think this might be our finishing position today, so don't take any...
I'd already come to that conclusion, but thank you for telling me. Someone else has fallen out of the race. Not too sure who, but I think it's behind me. Yeah, no, I'd say the late pit stoppers cost us here. If we'd taken it a lap later in safety car conditions, it would have proved beneficial to us. My legs hurt where I've been resting my arms on them. I'm going to have a nice hot bath after this, I think. Reward myself. Oh, that hurt. That lap was quicker, but Kobayashi's beaten us. He's done well today in that Sauber, actually. I'm fairly confident the top 3 is going to read Alonso, Vettel, Webber. Vettel just came out of nowhere. Button is out the race. He looked like a contender early on when the top 4 were separated by about 7 seconds. Only issue is Button made a risky move against us, dived down there inside and got his front wing chopped off, and if I had got a penalty I would have flashbacked because it wouldn't have been my fault. But Alonso was the guy to beat today. He was quick off the line, defended against us early because Hamilton was the leader, I think, or Alonso. I can't even remember. It was over an hour and a half ago now. And I'm just bringing the car home. I don't care that I'm 13.4 seconds behind Kobayashi. Fernando Alonso takes the checkered flag. We were quite close to him not that long ago, but we have fallen an entire sector behind him. Kind of like Mercedes' performance this year. They'll lead early on and then they'll just fall off the pace completely. That's a new way to take that corner. Oh, we're getting sloppy now. There goes Webber and Kamui Kobayashi. And the early race leader comes in to collect 10 World Championship points. It's a position below our expected. We were projected 4th and we finished 5th, but Grosjean, importantly, Grosjean was out of the points in 12th. And no, Lewis Hamilton got 2nd in the end. Sebastian Vettel down in 8th place.
10 points, good job.
Alonso was still quick on the day. Hamilton got 2nd, who originally didn't look like he was going to be contending with us. We got 5th, Hulkenberg, Raikkonen, Vettel, Perez, Maldonado. Schumacher in 11th, and retirees were Pedro de la Rosa ended 3 laps down. Massa in the end was the retirement in the Ferrari. There were some guys who were starting to post some really quick lap times in the end. Alonso, Webber broke the 1 minute 45 barrier, but we actually were not as off the pace as I thought today. We actually got some nice lap times. What did this do for the championship? Well, it puts us ahead of Grosjean by 6 points. That's what we want to see. We want to see a lead over Grosjean. And yeah, it was... I don't know if before this race it was mathematically impossible for us to win the championship, but now it definitely is. What it does mean is Mark Webber has overtaken Sebastian Vettel. And with Alonso 3 points behind, Hamilton is launching a kind of second half of the season comeback because he was tied with me on points at one point. Hamilton is doing well. It's a straight fight between Webber, Vettel and Alonso. I mean, it's still statistically possible for the McLaren drivers to be in the championship fight, but I don't think it's going to happen that way. We have got to defend from Grosjean, and I hope we can retain 5th. Constructors wise, Sauber have got away from us a little bit. They're now 9 points ahead, thanks to Kamui today, and Sergio. They took off I don't know how many points. Sorry for the yawn. It has been a hell of a long race. An hour 48 is what the video reads. It'll be just probably short of that by the time I've edited, but I'd like to thank everyone for watching. This was my apology for you for my Indian Grand Prix. Stay tuned next weekend for America. That's a 25% race, and I will do 100% for the season finale in Brazil. That's in 2 weeks' time. It's also this race is going up the weekend of the Canadian Grand Prix, so we'll enjoy that. I'll discuss that probably in next week's video. But I'm Psycho Enigma. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.